Hey guys, how's it going everybody? It's Jackie Felix here. We had a situation yesterday where, this is just an example, right? It's a tier 3 40 man with 5 forts on it, and usually you see 5 forts on tier 3 40 man, you would be expecting a fight, right? But no, it pretty much ended up being 4 sticks or 4 snipes on the node. So this is a classic example of, you can put these additional rewards. And if you guys aren't aware, Pearl Abyss recently introduced a new reward system. They made a new Node War medal where you need it to gain a new Node War passive skill in Node Wars and Siege, which can give you either 25 melee ranged or magic DP. So a lot of guilds are placing down sticks or like snipes on these nodes to try to get these medals or these rewards, right? And the issue is that, or the issue I think is that the cost of placing down a fort is too low, and the cost of annexes and structures are too high. So I feel like, Pearl Abyss should look at this, right? Because nobody really likes fighting sticks on a node, right? They should up the cost of the forts to a point where if you drop a stick down consistently with the intention to snipe, you will eventually run out of guild funds, right? On the other hand, I feel like the cost of structures are way too high. Oftentimes, if you have a decent node war, a longer node war, you'll actually end up burning potentially billions of silver just on supplies, annexes such as flame towers, supplies, recoveries, and all that stuff. So I feel like most of the cost for node wars should be within dropping the stick, right? And this can affect, guilds being able to rip and replant for node wars. So essentially the ability to play musical chairs within the last 5 minutes, which is also pretty annoying. And I'm sure there's some other downsides to this as well, but overall, I think this will be a net positive change for especially the node war system. Okay. And another point I want to get through and talk about quickly is, you heard people like Choi say on stream, oh, I feel like, we should, like, for example, instead of getting 20 billion for a castle, we should instead get like 200 billion or something like that, or 10 times the amount of rewards. I think that's a bad idea, and that's a bad way to attempt on trying to fix the current node war and siege situation. Because I don't think he really understands the core issue of the current state of large-scale PvP, especially on NA, right? I'm sure in other regions. Because when you give the amount of silver you get for a castle, for example, you get 200 billion, right, for winning that castle. Now the fight or the region becomes more about, who caps a node, who caps a region, what are the politics. It's not really about the fight. It's not about getting the most even, best balanced fight, so guilds or members that come to Node War actually want to participate and have fun, right? What a change like that would encourage is just have an alliance of guilds, and you're just rotating castles at that point. The stronger alliance controls the region, and there's no reason for you to try to contest it because there's no way you're winning, right? With how few siege guilds there are right now. So this brings me onto my next point of the video, which is essentially that, let me give you a list of the dead or retired siege guilds around over the past 1.5 to 2 years, right? So Man Up, Vertex, Bassi, Snake, Notorious, Vexus, Filter, Ikoda, FML, Vincia, Haste, Aftershock, Hikamori, Kyokai, Hybrid, Art, Legatum, Pariah, Snapchat, Challenger, Hexus, HeXD, Legatum, Camel, right? So, sorry, I mentioned Legatum twice. So around 23 dead siege guilds over the past 2 years. Or retired. And how many new guilds have we got that are still like by active, like I mean active siege guilds, right? So from top of my head, I think of Crawling Chaos, Frequency, and Nekohana. So that's out of the like 23, 24 dead siege guilds, we've got 3 new ones come up, right? So this system is not sustainable. And you might be thinking, why are there so many dead siege guilds? And there's even more dead node war guilds, right? Now, let me talk to you real quick about how hard it is to manage, run, and operate a node war and siege guild in BDO. So, first off, you need a strong officer core. One person can't do everything within a 100-man guild, or even a 60, 70-man guild. It's impossible. There's too much work. You need a strong officer core that know what they're doing and can handle stuff like recruitment, politics, scouting for node war, siege, slash siege, and HR, right? And these things take pretty much a couple hours, like more than a couple hours every day to do. And it's really challenging finding people who especially have other commitments in life to spend this kind of time running a guild, a successful guild, right? And then on top of that, for Node Wars and Siege, you need a cannon team, a defense team, a flex team, a main ball. You need a shot caller for flex and main ball. You need a leader for defense. You need flag holders. You need elephant riders. You need scouts. And for example, there's not that many people that want to sit inside a Flame Tower or Archer. There's not that many people that want to do cannons. There's not almost nobody that wants to ride an elephant for wars consistently, right? So it's very hard finding individual players who are willing to fill those specialized roles. And then not only that, you talk about the progression of a Node War guild into a Siege guild, right? So the way I see it is, you start off on tier 1s, you gain gear, you gain members, and then eventually you move on to tier 2 30-man Node Wars, right? And then after that, you move on to, when you get more members, get more gear, and get more coordination, you go on to tier 2, tier 4, 40, 60 mans. And then after that, if you want to, you go to Farmland Siege, and then you go to Castle Siege. And each of these steps, like the amount of work you need to put in, and the amount of effort you need to put in is insurmountable. Like, for example, going from the strength between a tier 1 Node War guild and a strong tier 2 tier 4 Node War guild is incredibly noticeable. Incredibly noticeable. And the difference between, for example, going from a tier 2 Node War guild even to like a Castle Siege is a insane amount of work that the officers need to put behind to get to that stage and level, right? And then on top of that, you're also dealing with guild drama inside and outside of the guild, and people try and poach your strong members, which I understand, there's nothing you can do about that. But I'm just trying to explain the situation. And then at the end of the day, you're asking yourself, how many guilds are willing to put this much work and this much effort into running, operating, and managing a Node War and Siege guild, right? At one point, it just becomes a second job for these officers, and it's not fun. It's not enjoyable, and it's a system where guilds, like, you understand why there's been more guilds that have died out than new ones that come up, right? So I feel like, in terms of trying to revitalize the large-scale Node War scene, because it does bring a lot of content to the game, you can't really just look at it as, oh, we'll give players more rewards, and then if we give players more rewards, it will revitalize or make the Node War scene more alive, right? I think there's more deeper issues than just that. I feel like you need to look at the issue with snipe guilds on a node and punish snipe guilds more for placing down a stick in an active Node War area. And on top of that, you need to try to think up of methods or strategies which make it easier to run a Node War and Siege guild. So those are two of my main points today. But yeah, anyways, if you guys have any feedback or thoughts or comments, leave them in the comment section down below, or join the Discord and type what you think in there. But otherwise than that, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.